If you're thinking about radically changing the look and handling of your bike by swapping the wheels, this video will be very helpful for you. In today's episode, I will share my experience, what I did and how I did it. This is my beginner's guide to building new wheels for the Royal Enfield Interceptor. As you know very well, Interceptor runs on 18-inch wheels. This is sort of classic bike wheel size, and most people will never have any problem and will be absolutely happy with those wheels, but not me. From the moment I got the bike, I was passionate about fitting a wider rear tire, but I wasn't happy with how 150 millimeter wheel in 18-inch diameter look on this bike. I thought was too big, oversized, but also heavier than stock. So the only way for me to achieve what I wanted was to go and build new wheels, smaller, that would fit wider tires perfectly. If you want to do something similar, before we begin talking about building new wheels, I need to give you 2 words of caution. Number 1 is this stuff is very, very technical. There are a lot of details, there are a lot of nuances, and you will need to make your own research because you need to make a lot of decisions, and the choices you make will directly affect handling, but also safety. And in the end, everything you do to your bike is your responsibility. Number 2 is that this is actually a very expensive mod. We will talk about this in the end of the video. I'll provide you with a full breakdown, but roughly speaking, this would probably cost you around £1,000. This is where the prices start, maybe even a little bit more. And this is because you need to get the new rims, spokes, pay someone to actually build you the wheels, and you will need to get a new set of tires. And then if you are building this as a spare set of wheels, you will also need to buy wheel hubs. So if this doesn't scare you off, if you are curious and a little bit crazy, let's get into it. The first thing for me to decide was the wheel diameter. Initially, I wanted to build 16-inch wheels. As I saw in the picture from Bike Shed, they build an amazing Interceptor, and I fell in love with the bike when I first saw it. So I wanted to build something similar. But then I spoke with a lot of friends, and they all told me the same thing. It will handle shitty, be unstable on highways, and riding on bumpy B roads would be too hard work. And I love all those things, so I said, okay, maybe 16-inch is not such a great idea, even though it looks so good. And I decided to go for 17. It's quite a popular wheel size in modern bikes, so I thought, why not? And there are a few 17-inch Interceptor that I really like. For example, this one built by Bad Winners. The next thing to decide is the tires. And I made this choice far too late in the process, which actually complicated a couple of things. And I recommend choosing the tires early in the process. When I was considering 16-inch wheels, I wanted to go for Avon Cobra Chrome. But now as I'm building 7-inch wheels, the choice is actually huge. I decided to go for Batlax, for Bridgestone Batlax BT46, because I heard so many good things. I decided that would be the tires of my choice. And I had to decide on the size of the tire. I knew that for the back, I wanted a wider, fat tire. I knew for the fact that 150 would fit nicely, and I was going for a wider tire look. So the only 150 tire was 150 by 70. For the front, I wanted something that would be close to stock and would match the rear wheel. Obviously, you are constrained with the forks, and I think you can go as wide as 130, but I wanted to be on the safe side, and I was choosing somewhere 110 or 120. And Batlax didn't have 120, it only had 110, so I chose 110/80 for the front. I could also recommend you looking at Dunlop Mutant. I think they have the perfect set for the Interceptor. 150/60 for the rear, and then 110/80 for the front. This would make 2 wheels almost same in terms of their size and the profile. I think by going to Dunlop is actually a better idea than what I decided, but I heard too many good things about BT46. So anyway, that's what I got for my bike. And by the way, another cool thing that I didn't know when I started is when you're searching for tires for spoked wheels, you're not constrained only with tubed tires. You can actually buy a tubeless tire and use it on a spoked rim. 2 things you can do. You can convert your rim to a tubeless, but you can also use a tube. You can use a tube with a tubeless tire and run it just fine, and that's what I did. Now it's time to think about your rims. There are a lot of choices, again, different materials, different types, different finishes. So I decided not to choose the rim, but ask for the recommendation from the same guy who was building the wheels, and he chose the rim for me. The only thing I needed to tell him is the width. And now, as I know my diameter and I know the tires that I'm going to fit, it's actually an easy choice, because every manufacturer, they have a page that recommends you a specific rim width for your chosen tire. For the front, I chose 3.0, and for the rear, 3.5. So that size is something similar to the stock, but a little bit wider to fit wider tires. And I think actually for the rear, you can go a little bit wider. You can probably be okay with 4.0 rim width, and it might be a little bit better, but I settled on 3.5 and it is just fine. There are a couple of options how you can finish your rims. I decided to powder coat them. That was the cheaper and the quicker option, and my wheel builder, he offered me 2 ways to do it: to anodize them or powder coat them. But again, powder coating was cheaper and faster, so I asked him to do it in satin black. And finally, you need to choose who will build you the wheels. I was actually surprised to find out that there are a lot of companies that build wheels these days, and I asked for a recommendation in Royal Enfield Interceptor Owners Group on Facebook. Thank you guys very much. So they recommended me many options. I contacted all of them and chose the one that is mostly convenient for me. Now let's talk about the prices. New rims powder coated, new stainless steel spokes, and brass nickel plated nipples, plus labor, will be around 760 pounds. Then you need to add roughly around 300 pounds for the new set of tires. I paid 311 for mine. And then you need to decide if you're building these wheels as a spare set. You would also need to buy wheel hubs. You can buy them on eBay, and I think it's again roughly around 350 pounds. But I decided to save a little bit of money, and that's what my wheel builder recommended. He said, just bring me the wheels, I'll take the wheel hubs from your original wheels and I will build the new ones off the existing hubs, and that saved me another 300 pounds. So this would make your total budget at about 1,060 pounds if you're building it off your existing hubs, and 1,360 if you buy the new hubs for the new spare set of wheels. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get your wheels built. I was lucky, and my wheel builder is awesome guy. So he actually made it quicker. It took him less than 2 weeks, roughly 10 days, 10 calendar days. That's fantastic. And also what was very convenient about the guy is that he has a tire shop next door. So he built my rims and then he passed it to his mate next door and he put the tires on it. So by the moment I came to pick them up, that was a complete set. And of course it made me very, very happy. I was able to put it on the bike straight away. And yeah, this is it really. I'm very, very excited. I had a call today. They told me that my wheels are ready and I'm going to pick them up tomorrow, and I'm putting them on the bike the same day. And as soon as everything is complete, I'll record another video and I'll share the installation process and my first experience. So cool. I'll see you guys in the next episode.